Hello everybody, you are once again very welcome to Destination Newry TV coverage of Down GAA results and news from week 3 of the All-County Football Leagues. And for most teams, this of course will be the week when it's our final competitive game before the business end of the season starts by way of championship in 2 weeks. My name is Jarlath Tinley and I am once again joined this week by Paula McGee. Hello Paula.
Hi Jarlath.
And Paul Rooney. How are you, Paul?
How you doing, Jarlath?
Okay, Paula.
Glad to be here tonight again.
Yes, Paula, you just want to kick us off there by letting us know what games are not going ahead tonight?
Well, the Castlewellan fixture, their fixture isn't going ahead, and also the Dundrum fixture isn't going ahead. So them 2 games are off this evening.
Okay, that's Castlewellan were away to Saul, so that was a home game for Saul. That's off, and Dundrum were at home to Drummondess. I think they're both COVID-related issues, but we'll just park that there. So, listen, throw-ins this evening, Paul, I believe, have been brought forward 15 minutes. I suppose as an indication that the nights are already starting to close in. So can we start to run through maybe the fixtures for tonight, starting with Division 1A? There's a couple of juicy derbies in there.
There is indeed, Charles, and the nights are closing in on us desperate on the 7:15. Some of them have already started, Charles. But Division 1 fixtures tonight, we have Clonduff v Loughnane in Hilltown. CPN Peter Stravers, a local derby down there in Warrenpoint. Bryansford v Kilcoo, another local derby over that direction. Kerry Duff going well at the minute, Jarlath, as we know. They've born at home. And Ballyholden of Mayo Bridge at home tonight, Jarlath. A few tasty fixtures there in that division tonight now for everybody to look forward to.
It definitely is. Of course, the Clonduff and Loughnane game is the big game. But that's a juicy one there, certainly down in Moygannon. And of course, over in
Jarlath, and down in Moygannon, as you say, Mustafa will be looking for a point or two there tonight. St. Peter's they've played 2 games and sitting on 1 point, Jarlath.
Yeah.
And Rostraver have played 1 game, as you know, and is of no points. So points for anybody there tonight's a big result, Jarlath.
Well, you see, I suppose, Paul, a local derby obviously brings its own pressures, but both them teams will want to begin until championship in a fortnight with a bit of wind in their sails. Another big one, Paula, up in Bryansford in Newcastle. We're there at home to Kilcoo tonight.
Yeah, that will be an interesting. Bryansford unbeaten, having drawn in Moygannon in the early game. Kilcoo losing their first game to Clonduff and a win last week. So certainly both teams there will be going very much for a win. So I would expect a very good encounter there between Bryansford and Kilcoo.
All right, Paul, you've already mentioned Kerry Duff are absolutely flying this year. They, born coming till Belfast tonight, will hold no fear for Kerry Duff.
They'll hold no fear for Kerry Duff, is right. And I'm looking at them there. They're sitting on. They've 1 game played and they've won that. And Bourne have won their 2 matches, Jarlath. It'll be a good test for Kerry Duff to see where they are coming up in the championship. And I see there down in CPN. I see CPN have taken the lead there. Quick point at the start, Ross McGarry. It's 1-0 to CPN, Jarlath and Rostraver.
Okay, all right. Before the score starts flying in, Paul, we'll maybe rattle through them all. So Ballyholden, of course, at home to Mayo Bridge. Another local derby up there, Paula, and Ballyholden will be keen to get their season up and running.
Yes, certainly Ballyholden after their 2 first games, losing out in the first 2 games. Mayo Bridge also very keen there, with only a draw last week, and lucky to get that as they trailed with Loughnane for a lot of that game. So they're definitely, both teams there will certainly looking for points. Ballyholden eager to get something on the board from that game tonight.
Okay, we'll maybe move on to Division 2A. Saul versus Castlewellan, of course, is off. The other game in that division tonight is Glen and Darragh. A home game for Glen. They're 2 from 2. Would they be expected to keep that run going tonight, Paul?
You'd expect them to, Charles. They seem to be going well, and the young man I mentioned the show a few weeks, he seems to be playing well for them. But I tell you what, Darragh, if they're on form, like they've been a few championship finals lately, Darragh, the players down there, Jonathan, like Glen wouldn't need to be, going full of confidence, because it'll not be easy coming out of there with points, or it'll not be easy coming away from Darragh with points tonight. So it'll not, Jonathan.
Of course. And two fairly evenly matched teams are taking at it in Annaclone as well. Now, Annaclone sort of came unstuck last week after a long run of avoiding defeat. But of course, that was their big game, Paula. They're at home tonight to Downpatrick. They'll fancy taking 2 points up there in Annaclone.
Well, you're taking nothing for granted out of that game. Certainly, Downpatrick will be a challenge, but going into Annaclone's home ground, it is a ground that can be hard to ground a victory out of. So certainly, Annaclone definitely will be wanting to get 2 points, and Downpatrick will be eagerly wanting a win. So that should be a very good, interesting fixture there in Gaelic Park, Annaclone this evening.
Okay, moving on. St. John's and Richt. Paul, St. John's are yet to get off the mark. This is the third game. They'll be hoping to show something to their supporters there tonight, and what is another home game for them, the Kingdom. But I'm sure we'll be getting up there with a bit of wind in their sails, and would expect to put it up to St. John's.
Well, they would. You'd expect them to put it up all right, and it's. And Rick had a good win last week, Charles. We covered it on the show and surprised a lot of people. They had a few bad defeats at the end of last year, but St. John's would be definitely needing points there tonight, running into the championship, Charles. With 3 defeats wouldn't be a great, fountain so far, so it wouldn't. But
yeah,
I see the results is coming second fast, Charles. So to nip through them all divisions and turn these results, they're coming at me here flat out, so they are.
Okay, all right. Listen, well, I would just mention briefly then Longstone versus Breda is the big game in that division there tonight. Longstone, of course, are 2 from 2, and they're going well, and Benny will want to keep that one going. Move on then to the next division, Division 3. If possible, bring it up on the screen. Shamrocks. Paul, I'll let you have that one. You have a connection there. Shamrocks.
Yeah, Shamrocks. We mentioned last week, Charles. There's only a couple of teams in all the divisions with 100% record. You're talking Bourne, Shamrocks. I think maybe Drum and S. Not too many. And Shamrocks would be wanting the young side. They wanted to stamp the mark on. Last year they got the championship final, and we want to move on from that, Charles, this year. Progress the thing a wee bit. Scrabble will not be easy. They're sitting on full point as well. So good game expected there in Newry tonight.
Tullalish to Connacht. Tullalish, Paula, have yet to get off the board this year.
Yeah.
Again, a bit like St. John's, they'll be keen to get something tonight at their home pitch.
Absolutely, this is a must-win for Tullalish to get their confidence up and to get going in preparation for championship. So to Connacht, we're sitting in a better position there, but travelling to Tullalish tonight, they'll know that Tullalish will be very hungry for a win. So definitely Tullalish will be looking to take points in that game this evening, Jarlath.
Okay, Paul. August and Finn are heading up to Clonabonner. They're flying this year.
They're flying. We touched on them a few times, Charles, already, and up and coming club. Plenty of young fellas about the place, and they'd be expecting to win that tonight again. They're Clonabonner, a few tricky enough games for them.
Yeah,
I see their league position wouldn't be great, but I'm looking at quickly, Charles, before I let you go. I'm looking at here down in CPN, a real lively start down there. It's St. Broners have 4, 1-1, and Common Powder Neafa have 2 points, and there's only 5 minutes gone, Charles.
Okay, any word of who the goal scorer is?
No word of the goal yet, Charles, but I'll keep on top of it and I'll let you know. And St. John's and Rake, they're level at the minute, so they are a couple of minutes gone. Glenn's 1 up in Darracross. St. Paul's are 1 up in Glasthrummond, and we'll rip through that Division 4, Charles, and we'll get a few results going here. Okay,
there's Rosie Maggot here tweeting about a goal for Ballyholland as well. They're 1-1 again, the Bridge 0-2. Yeah, some flying starts tonight.
Some flying starts. If I'm on over in Ballyholland, Charles, hope to go over there later on at some stage.
Okay, we'll push on here. Paula, tonight, week 3, Bosco are taken to the field for the first time. They'll be glad to get out.
They'll be glad to get out, Jarlath, certainly. And it's no mean task for them tonight. Leitrim already scored 432 in 2 matches, which is a massive scoring. So Bosco will certainly be glad to get out on the playing field, but the Leitrim would be very fancied with that fixture with such a massive start to their 2 games.
That'll be a tough one for them tonight. And then we're going down to Mourne. There's a local derby, big rivalry again. Addy Call, Ballymartin, Paul.
It'd be a great game, and both going well. Addy Call have only 1 match played so far, Jarlath. But they had a COVID incident at the start. But I tell you what, Ballymartin need points there as well, and all these local derbies tonight, Charles, it should be plenty of fun tonight for us to cover. And like expecting a big game down there. So
of course.
Just St John's is level with Rake there at the minute 2-8 there, Charles.
Thanks, Paul. And the Bay game in Division 3, it's not a game actually because we're dealing with odd numbers. It's Drumgaff have no match this week. On into Division 4, Drummond is off, as we know. Dromara are hosting Ahadurg tonight. Dromara have 2 points from the first 2 games. Ahadurg, Paula, from 1 game are yet to get off the board. We'll maybe get the graphics up there.
Yeah, Dromara at home should be comfortable against the visitors, Ahadurg, who are Ahadurg's doing very well there, where they both have hurling and football going. So Dromara have got off to a good start in that league, and I would certainly be looking for a home victory tonight, Jarlath.
Okay, Paula. Khalif Mitchells, Paul, any views or opinions on that? Khalif's second game, forcing at home.
Khalif's second game, they won the first game, and Mitchells had a couple of good games already, Charles. They covered them well. They lost out last week on the death, and I tell you what, a good game of football down there. They'll be both looking for points. As you say, the last game before their big stuff starts, and expect a good game there, Charles.
Okay.
I think we may have somebody up that ground tonight as well, Charles, so we'll be able to drop in and out of there.
Okay, moving on then. We're St Paul's first, Glasdrumman. St Paul's, they're holding their own in that division. Played 2 on the 4 points on the board. They're at home tonight at Glasdrumman. They'll have no fears of Glasdrumman coming up there till Hollywood, Paula.
No, they'll certainly not have any fears of Glasdrumman coming, but they also will have the job of curtailing Conor Harrison. Conor Harrison is a big man in that Glasdrumman team and can do a lot of damage given room up front. So St Paul certainly, if they can control Conor, they will be looking for a victory there. But certainly the ace card for Glasdrumman travelling is Conor Harrison. Okay,
Bright versus St Michael's, Paul. Both have played 2. Both are on 2 points. Fairly evenly matched teams. If we're going on the results so far.
Fairly evenly matched teams, and you need to be rooting for the home team in that one, Charles. Like it'd be a fair out travel for St Michael's this even getting over there. Like you'd be expecting the home team to take the points there. Tight game again, I would say, and we'll be keeping updates from it as we go along.
Okay, and then the final game, of course, Ardglass and East Belfast. Paula, the Cinderella story continues. They're down in Ardglass tonight.
Absolutely, and I mean it's been a terrific story for East Belfast, and they're finding their feet, and they're feeling in there week in, week out. They're gaining experience. Already they haven't got any victory, but they'll be building a bit of momentum and getting to know each other, and that for this season for East Belfast will be the main thing. It's a building process, so they'll be travelling to Ardglass, and Ardglass will be hoping for a victory in that game.
Okay, I'll just maybe share with the viewers. Of course, between the shows every week, we look over what happened the previous week, and we try and tweak things and improve things going forward. So we're going to try and do something different here tonight. With the tweets continue to come in and the scores continue to come in. We're going to try and bring a formalised structure to it, Paul. Isn't that correct? Okay, right. Well, we're going to try.
Wasn't getting you there. Go ahead, Jarlath.
We're going to try and bring the scores, Paula, at the water break and at half time. Then water break second half and full time.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's great. The tweets is coming in, and people at home are finding out who's getting points and that. But it's also nice, the visual scoreboard when you're at games. So we're going to try and bring that to you this evening and bring you more up to date scores of all the games. So we have great people here working with us within the clubs. And they're in groups and they're feeding scores into us at like you say, 6-7 minutes in, then water breaks, the same again, lead up to half time and again in the second half. So hopefully that'll work. It's a working process, and we're hoping for the good communications from our guys at the fields who feed into us.
Okay, well, there's I see Bosco banging the goal 10 minutes in, so Latham's reputation holds no water over in Frank Horn Park.
Yeah, that's right, Charles, and I see that there. And before we get really into the show tonight, it'd be remiss of me not to mention a few people that had a bit of help there the day getting a bit of a studio and that set up, Charles. And I was working with a couple of boys this week, and they're tuned in the night watching. There are a couple of men from Katie, Colin, Kevin and Joe. They're tuned in the night and they're enjoying the show. And also I'd need to give a shout out to Leon, Danielle and Aaron. They give me great help setting up here today. And Seamus Ryan, everybody knows him out there. He's up in Benone tonight, tuned in, watching the show, hoping Clonabana get a win. And another wee quick note, Charles, before we go into this full stuff. On this day of 2010, we stunned Kerry in a quarter-final of an All-Ireland. Lots of people out there remember that one.
Oh,
quick few scores, Charles, before we get back to it.
Go ahead.
Glen have gone 4 up at Darracross. St Paul's 2-0 and Glasdrumond. So Connor hasn't started yet down there. Clonabana are 3-1 up in the Finn. Good start for Clonabana. CPN 3, St Bruno's 1-1. There's a 4-3 up. Kerry Duff, Bourne are 2 up and Kerry Duff, Jarlath. St John's are 3-2 over on React. Clonabana, now point grab there. They've gone 4-1 up. St Paul's 3-0 up. Ardglass 1-0 up at East Belfast. Goal for Tim Pranter in RGU. And they're coming flying at me, Jarlath. Ardglass 1-2, East Belfast 2. So Ardglass is flying.
There's the first water breakthrough. Bright have 1-6 up against who's at St Michael's. No score. So Paula, do you see them water breaks coming up there? Can you just start to call them out as you're getting them, and I'll start to write them down? Absolutely.
There's a few coming in here. St Paul's off the flying start. Jarlath there 1-5 up to no score against Glasdrumond. You've just done the St Michael one. Ardglass 1 point, East Belfast 1 point. That was after 9 minutes, and that's also the Bright one which we have got in Division 1. What I have got here is at the water break, Ballyholen 2-1, Mayo-Bridge 3 points. CPN.
I'll just add to that, Paul. Them 2 goals come from Jack Moore and Shamie Loughlin, got them 2 goals up in Ballyholen.
Okay. The Bransford game, Bransford 0-2, Kilcoo 0-2. CPN.
That's water break, yeah.
Yeah, that's a water break. And the Ballyholen game, Ballyholen 1-2, Mayo-Bridge 0-2. That's what I have. Division 3, there's some in here, Jarlath. The water break, Tullalish 2 points, to Connacht 1 point, and Shamrocks 1-2, Savile 4 points. That's at the water breaks there, Jarlath.
Very good, Jarlath. I'm looking at St John's there. They've gone 7-3 ahead of Enrique, so they're at home there the night, Jarlath.
Is that North 7, Paul?
No, 1-4 to 3 points.
And is that water break?
That's water break. 1-4 to 3 points there in St John's.
Okay.
St John's are playing at home, so maybe the home game will help them, Jarlath. Grab a couple of points, so we'll keep an eye on that as we go along.
Okay, there's a Longstone water break there up as well. The 4 points up on Breda.
That's right.
4-2.
Yeah, the water break, Jarlath, in Clonduff. It is Clonduff 1-2, Loughlin Island 4 points. There's only a point in it there at the water break in the Clonduff Loughlin Island game.
Okay. And that Ardglass game, it's 1-3 at the water break over East Belfast for Ardglass. And just
1-3, Paula.
1-3 Jarlath. 1-3 Ardglass, 1 point East Belfast.
Okay.
Just on the East Belfast thing, Jarlath.
Just to keep everybody in the picture, do you see, Paul, to keep everybody in the picture, do you see when there's goals scored, can we report them as goals, just to keep everybody right? Okay,
well, St Paul's just after getting the goal there. It's 1-6 St Paul's, Glasdrumond, no score. Daniel Eastwood got the goal there, Jarlath.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Thank you.
And on the East Belfast thing, they have 400 playing members down there now, Jarlath, so they're flying down there.
That's unbelievable. I'll tell you them. There must be some set of jerseys. I'm sure the more than one set at this stage.
Well, the 400 playing members. It's unbelievable. I'll say to you on the very first show, we'll support them all along and keep them all along. But they're not belong to snapping at their heels, Jarlath, with that amount of people about the place.
Do you know, Paul? I have to tell you, I have never ever seen a team get as much of a publicity with a launch anywhere on the island. I mean, there was an excellent feature on an RTE news program as well on the opening weekend where their ladies were playing, I think, down in Savile that particular night.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see it, Jarlath. And whoever's doing a bit of PR down there, they're good at it. And all clubs should be doing the same, Jarlath, in the county. It's great to see that news coming out of clubs. And we love reporting it here in the show, Jarlath, as you know. Okay. I'm looking here at St Bruno's. Yourselves, you have gone 1-2 to 4 points up. So it's 5-4.
Is that there, water break?
It's restart again after the water break. So
right, so 1-2 to 0-4.
Yes, at the water break in Kilcoo or in Bransford, it's 2 points for Brantford, 3 points for Kilcoo, Jordan.
Yeah, I see that. Anything happening there? Carried off on Bourne.
Waterbreak carried off on Bourne. Bourne 4, carried off 1.
Okay. Paul,
Charles,
you anything else?
Waterbreak and Anaclone is Anaclone 0-4, RGA 1-3, and 15 minutes gone. The Attic Hall game is Attic Hall 0-2, Ballymartin 0-4, and the Waterbreak is Newry Bosco 1-4, Leitrim 3 points.
Bosco 1-4.
Yeah, Bosco 1-4, Leitrim 0-3.
Oh, Bosco haven't read the script tonight. Fair play to them.
The Newry teams are flying tonight, Charles. I'm just looking at Clonabon at the Waterbreak. It's Clonabon 5, August and Finn 2. Clonabon flying, point there for Megan Mullen for them to put them 5-2 ahead.
Excellent. Okay.
Waterbreak a Longstone game, Charles. Not sure whether I've got that one or not, but it's Longstone 4 points, Breda 2 points. That's the Waterbreak in that game.
Waterbreak. Anything from Tullalish or anything from Glen Darcross?
Glen Darcross was I got a wee update there earlier on, Jareth. It was Glen 1-1, Darcross to a point. That was about 15 minutes in. I'm not sure the Waterbreak, Jareth. I haven't got confirmation on that yet, but Glen's flying there, so they are.
Dramar, anything from Dramar or Killeaf? That's we've only 3 or 4 outstanding games here.
There's nothing
right. Well, what I do then is while we're waiting on them to come in, I'm going to rattle through what we have. Okay. So hold back on any additional scores until you get through this. So okay, Division 1A, CPN 0-4, Rostraver 1-2, Bransford 0-2, Kilcoo 0-3. Division 1B, Carryduff a point, Bourne 4 points. Ballyholland 2 goals 1 point, Mayo Bridge 3 points. And the Bay game is Clonduff a goal and 2, Loughlin Island 4 points. On down Division 2A, Glen 1-1, Darracross 0-1. Division 2B, Anaclone 0-4, Downpatrick 1-3. St John's 1-4, and Rake 0-3. And the Bay game there is Longstone 0-4, Breda 0-2. Division 3A, Shamrocks 1-2, Saville 0-4. Clonabonna 0-5, Ocklas Lafin 0-2. Division 3B, Bosco 1-4, Leitrim 0-3. Attic Hall 0-2, Ballymartin 0-4. And Division 4B, St Paul's 1-6, Glasdrumman no score. Bright and St Michael's are a point each, and Ardglass are a goal and 3, Police Belfast a point. I think we're going to go straight over till Ballyholland, and we're going to try and get Kevin Loughran on the phone.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin, how are you? This is Jareth here.
Jareth, how are you?
I'll tell you what, I'm in good form, but you must be in better form. You have had a brilliant start there.
The score at the minute here, we started at 13 minutes past 7, so we're now up to 25 minutes gone. And it's Ballyholland 2-3, Mayo Bridge 4 points. The only downside that we started off like a train, scored 2 goals in the first 8 minutes. But on 9 minutes, we had a player sent off. Sprady was sent off for supposedly high elbow. So we're now down to 14 men against 15. But in saying that, we're probably the stronger team at the moment. But it's a long way to go, Jordan.
Well, of course it is.
Right here in Ballyholland, we're probably on the max of our quota of what we're allowed through the gate. But it's a brilliant evening. The game is probably, out of the 3 that I've seen, the most competitive so far this season. So just a moment, Mayo Bridge is on attack here. And that's an all score for Mayo Bridge there. So it's now Ballyholland 2-3, Mayo Bridge 5 points.
2-3.
That's great, Kevin. Well, thanks very much, Kevin. There's Paul here. And your 2 goal scorers was Shamey and...
2 goal scorers. Jack Mortar got the first goal and Shamey Loughran got the second goal.
Yeah, well, Jack Mortar, we mentioned him in the show last week. He only started this. He made his first appearance 2 weeks ago, Jareth. He came on. He made 2 appearances. The first game against Carryduff and the second against Bourne last week, and he impressed on both games. And he started the night. Great to hear that.
Well deserved start the night.
Great to hear that, Kevin. And thanks very much for coming in.
14 men, so it's going to be a long. Rest of the night. With 14 men.
We'll give you a wee shout towards the end, Kevin, if you don't mind. Thanks very much
for
the update.
Paul.
All right, Kevin. Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye. Here's Ballyholland's flying there. You can actually you can actually hear it in his voice, can't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brilliant to hear it from the people at the ground, Charles. He's excited, and that's his son scored that goal, and that would even make you more excited. So,
a proud
I'm
daddy.
not cheering. I'm not cheering about the result, Charles, but hopefully we grind a bit back before it's all over. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, you see, Paul, Ballyholden will be pulling out all the stops to prevent that because they're not from 2 before tonight, and they'll be keen to put that right pre the championship.
I'm just seeing some scores coming, Charles. Kerry Duff have grabbed one back against Bourne. Young Henry's only after scoring a point. It's 4-2 there to Kerry Duff at the minute. Tullaleash have won 3 over Taconic, 2 points. A penalty scored there for Tullaleash. And St. John's,
2 points.
Yes, St. John's are 1-4 to 4 now over and raked at the minute there, Charles. Maybe Paul has a few more there, maybe coming in.
Yeah, Kilcoo are a point ahead of Bryansford, low scoring game there. Kilcoo 0-3 and Bryansford 0-2. And in Division 3, Shamrocks 1-2. Saville 0-4. There's an update just through there. And the Shamrocks actually 1-3 now to Saville's 4 points. That's in Division 3.
Thanks very much, Paul. I see a big, funny enough looking result coming in there from St. Paul's, Jarlath. And St. Paul's have gone 1-9 to no score there against Lastdrumman. And like last week, I think Connor Harrison, he scored 3-10 himself, if we're not mistaken, didn't he, Jarlath?
Yeah.
He need to start there now soon because St. Paul's have grabbed a 1-9 to no score lead coming into half time there, Jarlath. See Clonabon going well tonight. It's funny how these results change week to week. They're 6-3 up August and Finn now, so they are.
Okay.
And flying. And like there's St. Paul's again. Sean Tucker at it now. It's 1-10 to no score coming out of St. Paul's tonight, Jonathan.
Have we anything coming out of Dromara or Kilife?
We have a man in Dromara. Maybe that's the best shot for us.
I have half time, Jarlath, here from Anthony Sloan, and it's a very low scoring game. It's Kilife 1 point, Mitchell's 1 point. There's only
Maybe we could get him on. We have a man in Dromara, Cahill. We could maybe get him on and see what this crack is over there.
Paul, we'll deal with Kilife here. Kilife and Mitchell's. Is that a half-time score, Paula?
Half-time, yes. Half-time from Anthony Sloan. It's Kilife 1 point, Mitchell's 1 point, Jarlath half-time.
The Cahill not like me seeing this. They're playing.
Sounds like a Charles, all right.
Right, listen, we're going straight over to Moygallen. We have QQR on the phone.
Hello, Q. How you doing? Hello.
Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Q. Hello, Q. How you doing? You're going well down there at the minute. The score at the minute, 1-3 to 6 points.
Hello,
I don't know if I have him or not. I don't know if I have him, Jarlath.
Right, that's all right. We'll maybe try that line again. Paul,
the score over there at the minute, Jarlath, is 1-3. St. Bronagh 6 points CPN.
Oh, it's just all even Stevens then.
That's the first half.
Paula, you were about to give us a score there before we brought Q in. Or thought we had
the game you were inquiring about, the Dromara game, and it is Dromara 1-3, Achaderg 2 points.
What stage is that at?
It's half time, and the other game that's coming through here, Jarlath, is the Arglass game. It's Arglass 1-5, East Belfast 1 point. That's the update scores that we have from Division 4.
That's half time as well.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
a quick score update from Longstone, Jarlath.
Go ahead, Paul.
Connor Poland again. We've mentioned him a few times. I hope he keeps this form up when we're in this All-Ireland final in December. He scored a couple of points there. They're leading 5-2 there. Longstone's leading Breda 5-2. Benny'd be delighted.
That's like he's going. Half-time, Paul?
No, it's not half-time there yet, Jarlath. That's the latest score. Connor's just had the score in that. And a quick update, 23 minutes in the first half, and Kerry Duff have gone level. A couple of men were mentioned again, Daniel Guinness and Young Beatty, 2 points to put it 4 each, and Kerry Duff there, Jarlath. So
Bourne were 4-1 up there, so Kerry Duff have already give themselves a shake.
They have indeed.
Yeah.
So that's all. I'm seeing Tullaleash 1-5, the Connacht 2, but it's not half time in that one yet, Jarlath. So
Paul.
We'll keep an eye on that. Glen are 1-3 up in Dara Cross, 1-3 to 4 points. It seems to have stayed stuck at that score for a while there, Jarlath.
Well, Glen were 1-1 to a point, so Dara Cross have obviously mounted a bit of a comeback there as well.
And Rake have a goal there from. The goal in front. The goal was from our White, and it was It's in Rake 1-6, St John's 1-5 there now. So lively enough match down there as well.
And how long's gone there, Paul?
That's 27 minutes into the first half, Jarlath, that is.
Well, I tell you what, that sounds like a ding dong of a game, because St John's were 1-4 to 0-3 up there at the stage, and the Kingdom have totally turned that game around.
It's great to see it, and I'm seeing St Paul's. I don't know what's going on down there, Jarlath. We'll have to get some agent down there. It's 1-12 to no score.
Okay.
Someone must have sent the thirds out or something. I don't know what's happening there, Jarlath. We'll check that out as we go along.
Is that a half time, Paul?
No, that's not a half time yet. So it's not. It's coming up to half time, Jarlath. Coming close.
So there's more pain to come then. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, yes.
Paul, are you anything else to add?
Yeah, half time. Anthony Sloan has just added a half time to that. Mitchell's game and Caliph added 2 extra points. So it's Caliph 0-3, Mitchell's 0-1. Still a very low scoring game, but Caliph have pulled 2 points.
Okay. Away
there, and the other, we have the Division 1 half times coming in there. There's nothing to add on that one, Jarlath.
All right. Nothing. No updates from Ollie Paul or Bosco. No, nothing yet.
No,
okay.
No
All
updates.
right, well,
just another score there for St Bruno's. It's are leading now 7-6, Jarlath. 1-4 to 6 points.
Okay. What stage is that at, Paul?
That's in. It's coming up to half time as well. Just the CPN's after responding. Kieran McCartan's after putting it level again. So coming close in half time there. 28 minutes gone in the Glen Dara Cross. It's 1-4. The Glen Dara Cross 4. They're coming back a wee bit.
See the half time result from Clonabana is 0-7. Clonabana Augusta Finn 0-3. It's up on the Kieran McCartan. Thanks for sending that in, Kieran.
I see that coming here, Jarlath is right. And nothing much else coming here more. It's just
don't worry.
The Mayo Bridge game. The Mayo Bridge game. I like to keep the people updated on that one. And Kevin said that it was 2-3. They got off the flying start. Well, it's 2-3 to 8 points now.
Okay.
The Bridge are coming back at them. Like 2-3 to 8 points. The Bridge are coming back.
Is that half time?
It's not half time yet. It's
hold me far away.
28 minutes in. So, that is half time. I've confirmed at half time there now, Jarlath.
Anything coming from Bryansford? Very low scoring game, Paula. Any word of anything? No,
the only other half time I have in Jarlath here is Dramara 2-4, Achadur 2 points. So Dramara have pulled an early lead there in the first half.
What's it? 2-4? 2-4
to 2 points.
Okay.
27 minutes and carried off, Jarlath. It's Bournemouth grabbed a couple of points. They're 6-4 up there now, so they are. Longstone have gone 11-3 up in Breda. Point for Gary Trainer.
Longstone of what? Sorry.
Longstone have gone 11-3 up against Breda.
11-3?
11-3 up against Breda, and it's a point for Gary Trainer.
It was 5-2. It was 5-2 a minute ago. 11-3.
11-3 there now from Longstone.
Is that half time, Paul?
It's not yet. No, it's not a half time confirmed yet.
Any goals in that game?
No goals in that game.
No balls. All right. Listen,
score is 11 points to 3 points.
With Damien Brady on the phone from Bosco, so we're going to go to see are they still in front again later. Damien, how are you? It's Jarlath here.
Not too, Jarlath. Great stuff.
Is it half time yet? We had you at 1-4 to 0-3. Is that the latest?
It's 1-7 to 0-4 at the minute, the Bosco, and it's just coming up to half time. About a minute to go to half time.
Goodness, here you didn't read the script this evening. Your tails are up over there.
Exactly. We're a depleted squad tonight, and we're expecting a tougher game, but it's in the balance. It's just early doors yet. The fitness will depend later on in the game. Leitrim are very sharp, but they've missed a couple of scores there,
Yeah, very good, very good. Listen, I've Paul and Paulo on here. Do you just want to add anything in there, Paul?
Maybe Paula wants a word with you. Do you, Paula?
Hello, Damien.
Well, Paula.
Well, what's conditions like for you this evening? What's it's a nice bright evening with a lot of rain earlier. So
beautiful.
How's the pitch?
Beautiful evening, Paula. Sun's out, and the players can feel it out there. It's hot, so it is. So. As I said there earlier, the fitness level is going to take their toll here later on. Who'll be the fittest will probably win this game. It's all Leitrim at the minute now, coming up to half time, but Bosco's holding the lead. Hold on. There's a point for Leitrim there, just as we speak.
It's not 5. 1-7, not 5 then, Damien.
1-7. Who got the goal, Damien?
Thanks, Damien.
Brian Dillon got the goal.
Brian Dillon. Thanks very much,
Okay,
Damien.
but-
Thanks for coming on.
Right.
We'll give you a
All
shout
right,
later
thanks,
on.
Damien. Bye bye. Bye. So there's a
Jarlath,
big.
have another goal to report there.
Go ahead,
Believe
Paul.
it or not, you wouldn't believe where it's coming out of. St.
It's coming out
Paul's.
of some. Go ahead. Yeah.
2-12 to no score. Sean Tucker. I think he's the 2 goals and a couple of points. So another name for us to look out for. Sean Tucker, St. Paul's, Hollywood.
And Bright have really got motor in there as well. They have just banged in 2-11 again. Met St. Michael's 0-2. So there's Tullalish and Ticonnet is 1-6. Tullalish to 0-4.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, we're getting through these half times rightly. I'm only missing a few. So Paul, have you anything else, or will I start to go through?
I have Kilcoo 4 points, Bransford 3 is what's coming in. What are you missing, John?
Half time, yes. Is that
half time? St. John's 1-5 and Raked 1-7.
1-7. Okay.
Paul,
I'm missing on the phone down, Patrick. Have you?
No. Have you got Carry Duff? Carry Duff 0-4, Burn 0-6.
I have that. Yes.
Yeah,
Glen 2-4, Dara Cross 4 at half time, Jarlath.
Okay. Thanks, Paul. Thank you. Right. Nothing from Clonduff and Island. I know it's a big game, but we still like to give them out.
The last one that I got on it, Jarlath, as far as I'm aware, is Clonduff 1-7, Loughlin Island 2-6, but I'm not sure if that's a half time.
That's confirmed half time, Paul. I just seen it coming in there.
1-7 Clonduff.
To 2-6 to Loughlin Island.
All right, listen, we're going to go straight back over till Moygannon. I assume that we must be at half time. We have Q Carr back on the phone. Hey, Q, this is Jarlath here.
Hello, Jarlath. We're all square here at half time here.
Okay, Q, beautiful evening. I'm sure there's a big crowd there.
Not a bad crowd. A lot of several people here, you'll be glad to know, Jarlath. And the half-time score is all square, 1-4 for the Restrever, 7 points for 1 point.
And what sort of game is the Q?
Not a bad game. Restrever movement is quite good. 1 point, they were strong in defence. Restrever did break through for an early goal from Sean Cooper and put them into a 1-1, the 2 points lead at one stage. But 1 point clawed their way back. And in the last 10 minutes, it's been even Stevens plus exchanges the points. Restrever going a point ahead. 1 point equalising. The point going ahead, Restrever equalised. So we'll finish the half all square, all to play for in the second half.
That sounds like a good game, Q. Hopefully we'll get back to you in the second half. Paul, you want to ask Q anything, or Paula?
No, just thanks, Q, for coming in, and nice, great to hear updates from the match. And I'd say you're nervous enough there at the minute, and hopefully we'll get a word. We have 10 minutes to go, Q, if you don't mind.
Yes, hopefully.
All right, Q.
Thanks, Q. All the best.
All right, listen, I have
half-time from St. Paul's. Half-time St. Paul's 2-12.
Yeah.
Last Drummond 1 point. They've scored Jarlath before the half.
Okay. All right, listen, I'm only missing 2 games, so we're gonna start and rattle through these, okay?
I just want these 2 jars before you go. If a half time was Anaclone 7 points, RGU 1-8.
What's that? 7? Not 7.
Not 7 Anaclone, RGU 1-8, and Addy Call 0-4, Ballymartin 0-6.
Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much it for the half time. So I'll start and run through them. Is okay with that? Yeah.
Go ahead, Charles. Thank you.
Go ahead, Charles.
Division 1A, CPN Warren Point 0-7, Restrever 1-4, Bransford 0-3, Kilcoo 0-4. Division 1B, Carry Duff 0-4, Bourne 0-6, Ballyholen 2-3, Meobridge 0-8. And the bay game is Clonduff 1-7, Loughlin Island 2-6. Division 2A, Glen 2-4, Dara Cross 0-4. Division 2B, Anaclone 0-7, Downpatrick 1-8, St John's 1-5, and Raked 1-7. And the bay game there is Longstone 0-11, Breda 0-3. Division 3A, Shamrocks and Saville are tied at half time, 1-5 apiece. It's Tullalish 1-6, Ticonnet 0-4, Clonabana 0-7, Ocklas na Finn 0-3. Division 3B, Bosco 1-7, Leitrim 0-5, Addy Call 0-4, Ballymartin 0-6. On down to Division 4, Division 4A, Dramara 2-4, Ahadurg 0-2, Kilife 0-5, Mitchell's a point. On Division 4B, St Paul's 2-12, Glasdrumond 1 point, Bright 2-11, St Michael's 2 points, Ardglass 1-5, and East Belfast 1 point. So that's all the scores from the half time. There's plenty of high scoring going on tonight, guys.
There is indeed, Charles, isn't there? There's lots of goals banging in here and there all over the place. So, good evening like that. You'd be expecting good, nice football, Charles, and that nobody can complain about, underfoot or there's no excuses for weather or anything like that. So, everybody will be at their best and evening like that. It's great to see it, Charles, and plenty of scores coming. Couple of low scoring ones. Kilcoo and Branch was low scoring, but you'd expect that there. You know what I mean? It's Stephen Poocher's over there now, and he'll not be wanting to tank a load of scores, against any team. So he'd be well prepared for anybody coming about the place, and it'd be hard to get points or hard to get scores in Branchwood this year, Jarlath.
I know what, Paul, and of course there's another couple of games there in Division 1 are also very close. Straver and Warren Point is all square down in Moygannon. Bourne are 2 up.
And Savills all square.
Bourne are 2 up on Carryduff, and Ballyholland are just about holding a slender 1 point lead over Mayo Bridge. Yeah, Shamrocks 1-5, Saville 1-5. That sounds like a good game, Paul.
That sounds like a good game down there in Park Esther, and no better place to be, Jarlath, tonight, playing a game of football. I'd say they're like anybody getting playing down there would be delighted. But I tell you what, 1-5, Shamrocks were leading well at the start when we touched in on it early on. Saville have grinded their way back into it, and we touched on it before, Jarlath. Both young teams, a couple of great footballers about both clubs, and they'll be expecting to move on and out of them divisions they're in at the minute, Jarlath.
Yeah.
Although, as we know, there's no promotion relegation this year, but they'll be fine-tuning their stuff for, a big assault next year to get out of where they are, Jarlath, I would say.
Well, that's the thing, Paul. I mean, like if you're going to experiment, this is the year to do it, isn't it?
That's the year to do it, is right. And both teams, I'm sure, will be hoping for a win, and we'll keep an eye on them, Jarlath. I don't think we've anybody at that venue, but we have a couple of people around the ground tonight still to get to, and maybe we could get the studio to get a call into a few people now out there to see what's happening in different places.
I'll tell you, we'll just do that because with Justin Sharvin is down at Kilife versus Mitchell's. Hey, Justin, this is Jarlath here.
Jarlath, how's things?
Not too bad. We have it. You're 5-1 up again, Mitchell's half time, yeah?
No, it's not half time. It's just the game didn't start at 7:30. It's 15 minutes later than I think was scheduled. So the game is just had a first water break there in the middle of the first half. At that stage, I think Kilife were in the lead 6-3. I think it just restarted there after that initial water break, and I think it just tagged on another score there. So it's looking 7-3 in Kilife's favour at the minute.
Okay, and a good evening, Justin.
What's that?
Wellaways. Good evening, Wellaways, yeah.
Yeah, we've got foggy down here, but a lot of we get. It seems to be looking here. It's a beautiful evening here over in Kilife. Absolutely beautiful conditions. Nice evening.
Okay, Justin, good to hear from you. We'll maybe chip in again in the second half. You're probably the only game that started at 7:30. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, there's another score there, so for Kilife, so they're extending their lead here now. Just before half time.
8-3 then. 8-3, right?
That's around about 8-3. Yep, absolutely.
All right, okay.
All right, George.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Thank you.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Kilife going well there, Jarlath, so they are going very well.
Yeah.
I see the second half's just starting to go here, Jarlath, and Carryduff they've brought on. We mentioned a few. We keep mentioning the Carryduff boys. I don't know why that is, but James Guinness, he played a few games for Down this year. They've introduced him at half time, Jarlath. So we'll see how that one goes. The second half's on the way there. So Mitchells are a bit behind there, aren't they? First score of the second half, Marcus Muskelly for Dara Cross. It's 2-4 Lane. Dara Cross 5 points there. Augustin Finn slipping back in, Jarlath. It's second half, couple of points for them straight off. 7-6 now, Clonavana. And that one, Jarlath.
7-6 Clonavana. Okay.
Clonavana. Collaleish have gone 1-9 up over to Connacht in that one. And the second halves are all starting to go here, Jarlath.
1-9, Paul. Still 1-9-4, is it?
1-9-4 in the second half. That Clonavana one, that's 6 minutes into the second half, Jarlath, so it is at the minute. Marcus Muskelly, another name you'll know. scoring for Dara Cross there. He's about a long time, Jarlath. He's still playing
Yeah.
football. Good to see it. He run
Well,
out for down as well, as you know.
Listen, I just, when we talk about people about a long time, I was told this morning, Johnny Parr has actually left the Rostrevor panel. I wasn't sure why you had heard that or not.
Never heard that, Jarlath. That's news from inside the camp. You can let us know
Oh,
what happened there.
Well, like, it's not on a cure to go into on a live show, but Johnny, he's been a long servant now for the club, and
A long servant, and many's a time Jarlath to put that name down the programme over the years. I'm telling you that now. He's been about a long time.
There's no doubt about it, and he's really entertained us over the past few years too. Some fantastic scores off the deck.
I remember one. Just when you mentioned his name, Jarlath, I remember a photograph went viral of him. He caught a ball. Louis McGinally took a photograph of him. He caught a ball. It was at least a foot above the crossbar, and you could have seen him stretched back. Do you remember that, Jarlath?
It's one of those iconic photos, isn't it? Like,
it really was an iconic photo, and just when you mentioned his name, famous enough name around your own village, Jarlath, and would be well thought of, I suppose. And he was a great servant to you.
Well, I can tell you, Paul, I'll only get sentimental here if I start going on about it. But when he was on his game, there was nobody would have touched him. You know,
right. And I think he doubled up as a soccer man as well, and he done everything. He's a great sportsman all round, Jarlath.
Yeah, Paula, I'm going to hand you over till Willie Gribben is down in Clonabana, and there's the last I heard it was 7-6. Willie, is that still the score?
That's still the score. It was 7-3 at half time, but the Finnets come back. There's only a point in it, and that's all to play for.
Okay. Paula, you want to ask Willie anything, or?
Yeah, even Willie, what a great evening for football down there. What's your crowd like this evening to watch that game?
Most surprising, Paula. It's a fairly large crowd. Much larger than what we thought of. I think it's just people are crying out to see football again.
Absolutely, it's a sign of people a good evening and people just delighted to get out, and we have our rules or our systems in place. It's great that people can get out safely to watch our games, especially on an evening like that. Willie.
Well, Willie, it's Jarlath here again. You'll be keen to try and get 2 points on the board there as we head into till Championship week. Things didn't really go right for you in the first 2 games. Are you still there, Willie? No. Okay, all right. Any more scores coming in? We've lost.
Yes, so go ahead, Paula.
Yeah, CPN extended the lead. It's 1-8 to Rostrevor's 1-5, and 40 minutes the second half. Ballyholden 2-5, Mayor Bridge 10 points.
Sorry, Ballyholden what? Sorry,
Ballyholden 2-5, Mayo Bridge 10 points.
All right, tell me this here, Paul. Go back till Moygannon. The Warren Point have hit 1-1 there at the start of the second half. Any details? Any score or?
I've no details of the scores. See, just one flashing up there that Matty Bagnall misses a penalty in the Glen game. That's just after coming in there.
Okay.
And then Shane McCartan scored a penalty, so that's the latest from the Glen game. A missed penalty and a score penalty, so there's lots of drama there in that Glen game. So it's Glen there. Jarlath is Glen 2-5, Dara Cross 7 points.
2-5 to 7.
Hey, our Jarlath, Shane McCartan added again this week, and I have Daniel Eastwood down St Paul's. He's added one there. It's 2-13 to a point there now. They're flying down there, so they are.
Okay.
East Belfast have added a score there. They've 2 points now, Jarlath. It's Ardglass 1-8, East Belfast 2 points in that one. Okay. I have that was a known goal by Rostrevor there, so it was.
Right.
After a fine run from Ryan Boyle. I don't know how it managed to be a known goal, but it's a known goal anyway, and Ryan Boyle was involved in it, I'm here in Jarlath. I'm looking St John's 1-6 and Rake 1-8, and Rake going ahead again there, Jarlath.
Just back up to Moygannon a wee second, Paul. I hope we didn't put the scud on them, because if we count back, that goal was probably going in as we were talking about Johnny Parr. Johnny,
who's in nets now, Jarlath? Then
Gareth Clark.
Well,
I'm wondering, Jarlath, how many of the Restrevers reporters actually had arrived in Shanks's mare, as you had encouraged them to do so yesterday. And maybe if we go back to Q will be able to tell us what the traffic conditions has been like in my Gallon on the.
Well, I'll tell you, Paula. I'll tell you who did arrive on Shanks's mare. Our Oran and 3 or 4 of his mates, because they lay for Strever about 5:30 to walk out till it. So,
which was not terrific to see our youth walking to football again. You know, things that my father and that God rest would have talked about. You know, walking to games, and it's great that that children now can get back together and socialise with their friends, and a stroll out the shore road in the Strever is perfect.
Definitely, couldn't agree more, Paul. Such a beautiful evening. Go ahead, Paul.
6 minutes into the second half, Kerry Duff. Bourne have doubled the lead there. It's double scores now. Bourne 8, Kerry Duff 4 points.
Okay.
And Rake have added another one there. It's 1-9 to 1-7 now. It's 12-10 over there at St John's. So there's an familiar name appearing in the Neve Paul. 2-14 they are now a point. Niall Grimley.
Oh. Okay.
Played a bit of football too here and there in his time. Bourne have added another one there. It's 9-4 now to Bourne up and Kerry Duff. So Kerry Duff have the Bourne have tucked the wind out of their sails a bit there, Jonathan.
I'll tell you, Paul. Just stay with Bourne there for a second. If Bourne's able to hold on there, that's them 3 from 3, and they'll be getting into the championship in good form, Paul.
They will. They'll be getting into the championship in good form, Jonathan. They always do. You know what I mean? As we know around the county, like they'll be in the shake-up in the last day or two. You'd expect, you know what I mean? Good young footballers about there, Charles. They won a couple of minor championships there, and people, not everybody would know these things about them, but like if you can bring them minor players on, Charles, I tell you what, they have a good enough outfit down there, and great coaching, and it's good to see it.
Yeah, go ahead, Paula.
Coming in here, there's another goal out in McGannon for CPM. It's 2-8 to 1-7. So,
you must send for that power man, Jarlath. You must send for that new keeper.
Is coming in there.
Taxi for power.
Yeah. Jarlath, just on a note, we touched on it last week at the end of the show. Different people asked me all week when we were telling the truth about the Crosswood Lane game. Do you remember? Yeah. I don't know how many times I was asked during the week about, is this true or what? You know what I mean? And I just want to let everybody know it was true. Yeah. Like, the other team scored as many goals as they scored points. So, just to confirm to everybody that we are telling the truth here, and that was a true story, Charlotte. You know what I mean?
It wasn't fake news.
No, and even add to that, Charlotte. I'm just after seeing a tweet coming there. They're winning 12-4 the night, so they're back to base again.
Okay. But I'll tell you this here, Paul. The thing is, you would need to go back a long while before you would find such a score at a Crosswood Lane home game. But listen,
we're not going people were inquiring.
We'll not dwell too long on Armagh football. No, get back to the championship. We sort of talked about it there, and Bourne, among other teams, were absolutely flying into it. I wasn't sure, Paula, how it was going to work out, because normally when we do go into the championship, every team has at least 8 to 10 games under their belt. That hasn't been the case this year, but everybody seems to be handling this new norm. They're just taking it in their stride, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think everybody was just so delighted to see football up and going again. And I mean, the quietness in our grounds and around our grounds in the very dark days of COVID, it was just unbelievable to see everywhere closed up. And in years, as you say, in other years, they were looking, 7-8 games to find out where they stood and who was strong and what, and get another look at other teams playing. I think clubs is just happy to be able to keep going, and we in the county clubs are managing our COVID very well, and our leagues are up and going, and we will look forward to championship and look forward to be able to get to play championship this year, and the lesser games, everybody's in the same, all clubs is in the same boat, so they'll be looking forward to the challenge of championship 2020, certainly different than we have ever experienced. But we certainly eagerly look forward to that starting, Charles.
Thanks, Paula.
I'm just seeing an update there, Charles, from Longstone. They must be playing backs and forwards up there. It's a burst of scores there from Breda now. You believe it or not, it's Longstone 12, Breda 1-8 at the minute, and that's about 12 minutes into the second half. So,
what was Breda 1-8?
Breda's 1-8, believe it or not, Charles. So It's a burst of scores from Longstone, then a burst of scores from Breda. It seems to be at the minute. So
I know.
lively enough there, Jonathan.
It's
Anything
valuable
from
money.
anything from RGU, Paula? We haven't much from it.
No, there was something come in there from John Heenan, but they in from Jim in Ballyholland at the half-time water break, 48 minutes water break. It's Ballyholland 2-6, Mayo Bridge 12 points, so all square in that one there at the water break. Addy Call, we've got the Addy Call Ballymartin one. We've got it.
No, haven't it in a while, Paula. We're
Damien
over there.
Phillips came in there and he just said 10 minutes gone in the second half, and it's Addy Call 5 points. Ballymartin 1-9, so Ballymartin extended a big lead there. And the Leitrim game is Leitrim 0-8, Bosco 1-7. There's nothing further on that one.
So it's Bosco were in front there, Paula.
Yeah.
So it's 1-8 Bosco, 0-7 Leitrim, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, right. We are, of course, heading towards the second half water break. So
yeah, see that RGU game starting to get lively there, Charles. 3 red cards there. I have no score from it, but 3 red cards there to report from.
For who, Paul?
RGU. Two for RGU and 1 for Annaclone. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe that'll come to your committee at some stage, Jarlath. Hopefully not.
Was it all? Is there even an indication? Was it all at the same incident, or
all at the same incident? Yes, and I have an update there. East Belfast scored a goal. It's 1-10 to Ardglass. East Belfast 1-2 now, Jarlath.
Okay.
Bourne have gone. Oh, there's Kerry Duff coming at Bourne now. Brought him on at half time. Daniel Guinness. He's got a goal. Yep. It's 1-4 to 9 points. Kerry Duff snapping at their heels now. We'll see how good Bourne are, Jarlath, before this one's over. And in Bryansford, it's 6-5. Low scoring there, Paul, in that one. We're well into the second half.
6-5 to who, Paul?
6-5 to Bryansford at the minute, so it is. Right. We're well into the second half, about 15 minutes gone, Jarlath, in that one.
Oh, so that's,
if I find out any more from RGU, I'll let you know, but that's all I have at the minute.
Paul. Bryansford Kiku is 15 minutes gone then. We'll have to be heading towards the water break, right?
Heading towards the water break, 6-5 to Bryansford, Jarlath.
Okay. All right. Paulie, anything else coming there for the water break? Let me know.
Ardglass 1-10, East Belfast 2-2. So it's 1-10 to 2-2 coming in there from Cindy at that game. So
the water break, yeah.
Well, she hasn't indicated that it's the water break, was just the latest score. Water break at the Bright game is Bright 4-13. St. Michael's 4 points goal from Gareth George in that game.
What was St. Michael's, sorry?
St. Michael's 0-4, Bright 3-12.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Paula, but another goal for East Belfast. They're flying. 1-10 Ardglass, East Belfast 2-2. Yeah. So they're snapping at their heels there. And Alan Davison, Jarlath, we mentioned him last week in the show. Yes. He's just got one over there for CPN. It's 15-10 there at the minute. It's 2-9 CPN. So Bruner's 1-7. So the 5 points ahead of us, Jarlath.
And we must be holding water break there as well. Paul, go back to
that. Connabana 10 hours to Finn, 6 points, Jarlath.
All right. Tommy Joe Farrell is on the phone there. Tommy's down in Belfast at tonight's game. John, how are you? It's Jarlath here. You can't hear me. John, no. Okay, we'll maybe come back to that when we get a chance. Paula, go back to that Bright St. Michael's game. I had Bright down for 4-13, but you called me out a different one there after that.
Bright St. Michael's. Well, water breaks coming in here. St. Michael's 0-4, Bright 4-13. That's the latest coming in from Michael.
It is 4-13.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And the Glasdrumman half time, and just coming in here, St. Paul's 2-16, Glasdrumman 5 points.
And that's the water break,
The water break in Warren Point, Jarlath.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
CPN 2-9, Rostraver 1-7.
Rostraver's a bit of work to do there.
They have a bit of work to do, Jarlath. They have indeed.
John Ford on the phone, no?
Yes, Jarlath.
Hey, John, how are you? Sorry, I would,
how are you, Jarlath?
Got distracted there. Are you at the water break down there in Belfast?
Just exactly at the water break now at the minute. We're just having a bit of a break, yep.
And what we have it down here, 1-4 to 0-9, is that right?
0-11, Jarlath.
1-4 to 0-11.
Okay. How's everything?
Bourne looked as if they were pulling away there, and Kerry Duff has got a goal there to make it 1-4. And just before the break there, Donal Hurst got a free there to make it 0-11. So it's a lovely evening here, and it's a very good game.
A big crowd at it, John.
I wouldn't say there's a big crowd, but the crowd here is well pleased. I would have to say it's a good, fast-flowing game. So there's a fair crowd on the hill, I suppose, all sitting down. The sun's shining here, apart from the torrential rain we had here earlier on.
Yeah. All right, I've Paul and Paula on the phone there on the line. Paul or Paula.
How you doing, John? How you doing, John? Paul here. Are you still there? No, he must be gone, Jarlath. He must be gone. Huh?
No problem. Oh, okay. Anything else coming in there, Paula?
Well, I have a score update from...
coming in, Jarlath, from Mark Davenport and Glen. Water break is Glen 210,
yes.
Cara Cross 08.
210
to 08. And we have Cormac coming in there in the second half. Water break St John's 1-7, Unraked 1-9.
Okay.
Water break, Clonabana, Jarlath.
Go ahead, Paul.
Clonabana 13 points, Oxnafin 1-6. So it's 13-9 there at the minute, Jarlath.
Okay. Clonabana starting to pull away there. Paul, are you something?
Yeah, they need points tonight, yeah.
Yeah, water break, Jarlath, in the Bosco Leitrim game. It is Bosco 2-7, Leitrim 0-11. And an update from Collie Quinn and Gillick Park Anaclone is Anaclone 08, RGE 2-9.
08-2-9.
08-2-9. That's coming in just there from Collie Quinn from Downpatrick.
That goal for Downpatrick, Charles, was a penalty. Johnny Bell's just after scoring it, just before Paul will give you the update there. So that was a penalty for in that game there. And by all accounts, Charles is fairly lively over there at the minute.
So we're just after the water break there, are we?
Just after the water break. No, that is the water break score. 2-9 to 8 points.
Right. Well, I'm going to start and rattle through what I have. Paul, have you something else?
Yes, there's an update there coming in. Kilcoo have edged a point ahead to lead Bransford 6-7 in that game, Jarlath. And the water
That's a water break as well, Paula.
Yeah, and half-time water break from Kerry Louise and Dramara. It's Dramara 4-14, Ahadurg 1-3. That's the water break in Dramara.
Right. I'm going to rattle through them what I have, okay? So the second half water break scores: CPN 2-9, Rostraver 1-7, Bransford 0-6, Kilcoo 0-7, Division 1B, Carryduff 1-4, Bourne 0-11, Ballyholen 2-6, Muirbridge 0-12. In Division 2A, Glen 2-10, Dara Cross 0-8, Division 2B, Anaclone 0-8, Downpatrick 2-9, St John's 1-7, and Raked 1-9. Moving on, Division 3 at the water break. Tullalis 2-13, Tyrconnell 0-5, Clonabana 0-13, Oxnafin 1-6, Division 3B, Bosco 2-7, Leitrim 0-11. Down to Division 4 is Dramara 4-14, Ahadurg 1-3, and Division 4B, St Paul's 2-16, Glasdrumman 0-5, Bright 4-13, St Michael's 0-4, and Ardglass 1-10, East Belfast 2-2. That's all I have at the minute.
Yeah, Charles, funny enough, result coming out of Bosco there. What did you say, 2-7 to 11 points? Bosco
2-7 to 11, Paul. Bosco's just...
Yeah, no, look, we were on the phone to Damien a while ago, and he started off with an understrength team, just to cover himself. But they're going well, I tell you that. Like the next time we go back to him, he'd be coming out with that one. You know what I mean? Because they're 2-7 to 11 up there, and I can tell you what, it'd be a big result for them, Charles. Like, by all accounts, it would definitely be a big result. So the next time we go back to Damien,
Leitrim were flying like in the first
Leitrim were scoring cricket scores last week, Charles. The last few weeks. So we'll have to pull Damien on that and see if he's telling us the truth on that one or not. When we go back to him, Charles.
Go ahead, Paula.
Down in Park Esther, Shamrocks have extended their lead. The Shamrocks 2-8 to Savills 1-7. And Tullalis have pulled away with big score here of Tullalis 2-13 to Tyrconnell's 5 points. That's the water breakdown there. But Shamrocks they've added 1-1 there to go ahead of Savills.
Well, Paula, yes.
but he hasn't indicated it, but it must be if they're all coming back there. The water
Fair
break
enough.
there coming in from the Attic Hall game from Damien Phillips. It is Attic Hall 0-6, Ballymartin 1-10, and that's the water break there, Jarvis.
Okay. Ballymartin's
Big
pulling
news,
away
Charles.
there.
Big news coming out of
Go ahead,
Ballyhole.
Paul. Go ahead.
The Bridge have stuck a goal in there
Right.
to go 1-12 to 2-6 ahead, and they've got a black card as well. So that's somebody in the sin bin there. So somebody in the sin bin there. Very even match the last 6 or 7 minutes, but the Bridge grinded back into that one from 2-3 to a couple of points. They now lead Charles 1-12 to 2-6. So going well up there, and great to hear about Shamrocks there as well. And some results for them. So it would, Charles, if they could pull that off.
Kevin was saying up in Ballyhole and the stand was packed, so I would say things are starting to get lively there.
I hope they've all mass on them, Jarlath.
Oh, of course they have, Paul. Of course they have.
I hope they have.
Well, Paul, anything else?
No, just a stand full of masked men sitting in Ballyhole would definitely be.
We're going back to Division 4 there, Jarlath. St Paul's 2-16, Glasthrummond 6. They've started sticking a few points over, but it seems like they're well out of that one, Jarlath, down there. A big result for St Paul's there the night. You touched on them a while ago. We haven't touched on them much, but good to see them. There's a couple of young Eastwoods there and a couple of footballers, and they're down on their development panels, and like they're thereabouts on the 21s and all. So hopefully coming through, Jarlath, St Paul's will be coming with East Belfast towards us.
See, this is Paul. This is the beauty of these games. Like Glasthrummond, and you mentioned it earlier. Conor Harrison alone racked up 310 last week in Belfast against East Belfast, and that was after a dodgy enough opening week where they didn't get anything, and there we are now. It's nearly what you would say normal business resumes, where St Paul's are 16 points up on them halfway through the second half.
Yeah, they're flying. There's another point for them, Jarlath. It's 2-17. That boy again, Sean Tucker. Whoever's marking him, they may change him. I'm looking there at St John's. It's all level at St John's and Rake. 21 minutes gone in the second. It must be just after the water break, Jarlath. It's 1-9 each there, and tight game there in St John's. And I tell you what, it'll be a knuckle duster in the last 15 minutes there. I can tell you that. It's a tight one.
Well,
Kilcrew have a goal there in Branch where they go. The lead now 1-7 to 6 points, Jarlath. So
Okay.
we're starting to move a wee bit forward there.
Yeah.
Dara Cross playing 2-10 Glen, Dara Cross 10 at the minute. Marcus Pasquelli's doing all the scoring there, Jarlath. And he's probably the oldest man on the field, if the truth be told. You know what I mean? So
yeah, just go back to that St John's game. Like I mean, like they've obviously the wind in their sails there now, and coming off two defeats in their opening 2 games, Paul, they not want to let that one slip, especially as it's a home game.
yeah, they're not going to let that one slip us, right? And funny enough, Jarlath, St John's have been down round it a few times. Know a couple of boys down there, and great development going on down there, and a great club just built there last year, just opened up, and like they'll be wanting football teams now to back this all up. They've 2 or 3 football fields down there now, and their club rooms is fantastic. I was in it last year. They have a big hall, and fantastic to see a wee club like that, Jarlath, flying and doing well. And a couple of points now to add to that would just be the icing on the cake from the night, Jarlath.
All right, Paul, anything to add there? Anything coming in?
Caliph have extended them a big lead against Mitchell's. Jarlath, they now lead 1-14 to 3 points. So after a very slow scoring start of that game, now Caliph have pulled away. And 24 minutes gone. Kathy's coming in from our glass, and it is our glass 2-13 to East Belfast 2-2.
And there we'll go back to that one, Jarlath. I said to you, I mentioned earlier on the backs and forwards, Longstone and Breda.
Yeah.
Longstone now 17 points. Breda haven't moved since 1-8.
Okay.
So it's ping pong stuff there. It's up and down the field, but it seems to be a lot of 4 or 5 points for each team, Jarlath, whatever way it's working. Funny enough, Longstone are flying.
It's entertainment for the supporters, if nothing else, isn't it?
That's right. There you are. Carried off senior men. Great finish. Goal, Joyce Connery. That's yours, fella. Has been on the development squads as well. So they're right on the tail now, Jarlath. It's 2-5, Jerry Duff. Born 12 points. Great finish from Joyce Connery.
What's it? Hello, going there, Paul?
That is on 21 minutes, just after the water break in the second half, Jarlath. So Kerry Duff could deceive us this week again, Jarlath. They're flying. They have the footballers. They have the youth. They just need to put it on the actual map now, Jarlath. That's the
Well,
truth.
they're right back on their tails there now, aren't they?
They're right back in their tails. It's 11, 12, 2-5 to 12 points, Jarlath. And I tell you what, Bourne will be looking over their shoulders at this stage. 10 to go, Jarlath.
That has a grandstand finish written all over it. Paul, anything else coming from you?
No, there's nothing just coming on. See Tommy Joe's typing here, but there's no update has come in. So there's maybe something, it's maybe that goal that he's trying to get through to us. But there's nothing else to update in any of the divisions here just at the minute.
All right.
Sorry, as I say, CPN, Larry from CPN, that's the Heroic of their club there. It's CPN 211, St. Bronagh 1-9. So CPN are extending their lead out in Megannon there, Doris.
Okay. Listen, Damien Brady's back on the phone there. Paul, you want to take that? Damien's down there for Bosco.
Well, Damien, you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, we're
Paul,
seeing there.
ahead.
We're seeing there when we're off air. You come on earlier on and you said you had a great side out tonight. You're flying. You're doing well.
We're fine, Rich. 2-8 to 0-11, and there's about 8 minutes left, I would say. So
I can hear it in your voice. You're happy, anyhow, Damien.
Oh, happy, yes. I wasn't expecting this, but the boys are putting in
Who
a hell
got
of
your
a
second
performance
goal,
tonight.
Damien, when I have you on the phone?
The second goal was Mark McAteer from a penalty.
Oh, penalty. Very good. Right, well,
Yeah,
that'll do.
penalty,
So,
yeah.
we were just saying to the
Okay.
viewers there, you come in and covered yourself off. You had the bad side out. I tell you what, if you get us up there tonight, you'll be keeping that side out for the championship, Damien, will you not?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We took a few boys on there, and I took the subs that really normal circumstances they would have started, but obviously manager didn't think so. But they've made a bit of a difference since they've come on. But as I say, there's only 2 points in it, and they're all to play for the last 6 minutes now to go.
That's
All right,
thanks
Damien.
very much, Damien. Thanks for the update. Great to hear from you in there.
All right. Paula, listen, before we bring you in, Aaron Mooney wants to know about that Call game. The last I had, it was that Call 06, Ballymartin 110.
No, there's no update, but I'm actually trying to get Damien in Ballymartin here to see if he can give us an update. So as soon as that comes through, Jarlath, I will get that to you.
Okay.
And Rick have gone in front there, Jarlath. They just got a point there to go. They're in front now. It's 111 to 110. 24 minutes into the second half on that one, Jarlath. I tell you what, she's a tight one coming into the last 5. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there's a few grandstand finishes being teed up here, isn't there?
There is a few grandstand finishes. Bourne have got added there. They're 13-11 up now. 23 minutes gone in that one, Jarlath.
That's 2-5, 13, Paul.
2-5 to 13. Ardglass seem home and host there. It's 2-13 to 2-2. After East Belfast got them a couple of goals, Jarlath. Nothing much after that. So
okay.
we're looking there at Anna Clone RGU. It's 2-19 to 9 on 25 minutes there. And we'll shoot over to Glen.
No. Whoa. Don't go anywhere yet. What did you say about Anna Clone? 2-19?
2-19 to 9 points I'm seeing here at the minute.
Downpatrick's 2-19.
Yes.
9 points. Well, Downpatrick have really turned on the afterburners there, haven't they?
Well, Downpatrick had 2 men sent off, Jarlath, so
yeah. But
maybe the best thing happened to them.
2-9 5 minutes ago. There's Kieran McCartan, Clonabana, 17 points. Augustin Finn, 1-8. I think we had that. That was half time in the water break.
There's another goal for St. Paul's, Jarlath. That man again, we mentioned him on the show a few times. Daniel Eastwood. 3-17 to 6 points there. So he's going to do what Conor Harrison done last week. He's going to get to 3-10 for us this week, Jarlath, by the looks of things.
3-17. Okay. Listen,
there, I'm looking there. I'll have to nip up the Ballyhole here, Jarlath.
I'm not sure who Jim is, but we've Jim from Ballyhole on the phone.
The last minute
Jim
there.
Yeah. Jim McMahon, the chairman.
Yes, Jim. How are you? Jarlath here. How's it going up there?
Not too bad, Jarlath, yourself.
Dead on, boy. Dead on. Listen, the bridge just pulled ahead as far as we were told the last we heard.
Yes, yeah. The final whistle has just gone there, and the bridge, I believe, has just won by a couple of points. Unfortunately, the scores have just been taken off, but the bridge have come away from Father Lynch Park with 3 points. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
well, the score there. I think it's 2-12 to 3-7. Jarlath was the final score there.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
Sounds a bit right.
2-12 to 3-7.
Right. You just got off to a flyer. What happened in the second half? The bridge just must have grinded out to finish stronger, did they?
Well,
We lost them on very early on, after about maybe 10 or 15 minutes to a straight raid. The Bridge just fucking started chipping away right up to half time, and they continued that on in the second half. So that's just the way it went. The Bridge finished very, very strongly now. You know, they've a lot of young fellas, good fast runners. So we just
big
it out, unfortunately.
Well, Jim,
Massive
you'll have to regroup then just for the championship, and hopefully things will come good for you before the end of the season. Thanks very much for that, Jim.
I'm sorry about that last score, Jarlath. It must have been misprinted. It's 2-10 to 10, not much on the clone RGU. You were right. It's 2-10 to 10, that one.
All right. I see a full time over there in Clonabana. 7. They've persevered against Auckland na Finn, and they've put a halt till the Auckland na Finn run. 17 points, Clonabana. Auckland na Finn 1-8 is a final result. Paula.
Yeah, that's right. And another full time coming in here, Jarlath. It is Bright 4-15, St Michael's 0-6. That's a full time there. And there's also a full time coming in from the Tullalish game. Tullalish 2-16, Tyrconnell 1-7.
2-16.
2-16, Tullalish, Tyrconnell 1-7.
1-7.
Back up to Longstone, Jarlath. Goal for Breda there, and Longstone coming into the dynamics of that one. It's Longstone 18 points.
Yeah.
Breda 2-8 coming up to the final couple of minutes, Jarlath, in that one. So tight enough, but it looks like Longstone's going to get the points there, Jarlath, I would say.
Well, of course, Paul, that is the bay game. So I suppose but they still want to try and keep their knives as sharp as possible to get into the championship. There's a full time Tullalish. Did you get that there, Paula?
Yeah, go ahead.
2-16. 2-16.
There's 31 minutes gone in the Kilcoo game, Jarlath, and it's Kilcoo lead by 2 points. So Bransford 0-9, Kilcoo 1-8.
There you are, Jarlath. More news from Kerry Duff. I don't know. The Bourne mustn't have took too well to that goal they scored. 3 men off there. 1 Bourne and 2 Kerry Duff. So more stuff for your committee to deal with. But at the minute the score there, 28 minutes in the second half. Kerry Duff 2-5, Bourne 13. 1 red and 1 black for Bourne and 1 red for Kerry Duff. So there's 3 men off the field at the minute, Jarlath.
Well, Bourne's just holding on
by the short tails at the minute, but Tate coming into the last will keep the folks updated and see how it goes, Jarlath.
Okay, well, full teams are starting to come in. Yes, Paula.
Full time from our Glass game. It's our Glass 2-14, East Belfast 2-3. That's the latest in that division. And a full time coming in here from Glen. So it's Glen 2-13, Dara Cross 11 points, and Matty Bagnall with 11 points in that game.
Wow. There you are, great to see it. And I'm just confirmed the full time there from the Mayo Bridge game, Jarlath. It ended up Ballyholme 3-8, Mayo Bridge 2-13. And apparently it was a great game of football, Jarlath. No, we were tuned in. We were up talking to a few boys up there, and by all accounts, as you said, Kevin, at the first half, he was full of elation, and we had the chairman on the second half, and he sounded depressed. So it was a roller coaster of a game up there, by all accounts. And you can fairly tell in the man's voice he's enjoying the game, can't you, Jarlath?
Well, sure, isn't that the beauty? Isn't that the beauty of our Gaelic games, isn't it? I mean, the highs and the lows. You know what I mean?
The highs and the lows. We had it both there from Ballyholme tonight. So
Ballyholme, of course, they had a cracking start there. There were two goals and a point to 3 points at one stage. So that's no mean feat by Mayo Bridge. Go ahead.
There you are. Sorry.
A full time coming in from fellow Higgins reporting on the Bransford game, and it is Bransford 9 points, Kilcoo 1-9. So Kilcoo win by 3 points at full time there in Bransford.
Up to Kerry Duff, Jarlath, a point there for Daniel Guinness. It's 2-6 Kerry Duff, Bourne 13 on 29 minutes. I'd say there'll be a bit of extra time there, Jarlath, for them few sentences off. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And Kerry Duff's right on them at the minute now.
Only the bare minimum minute there, Paul.
They're right on their tail. So I don't know if Paulie gave the full time from Clonabana. Did you, Paulie? Yes, we got that.
Yet, but there's a referee's amendment to the score in Tullalish. It doesn't alter the result in any way, but the actual score there, Jarlath, it is Tullalish 2-16 to Tyrconnell 1-8, and that's a referee's amendment coming in on that. And the full-time score from Danny Baxton reporting down there in Park Esler was Shamrocks 2-16, Savile 1-9.
Unbelievable. Great result for
I
Shamrocks.
tell you what, Shamrocks
Great
are
result.
absolutely flying.
Great result. That run in the championship last year to the final, Charles, done them no harm by the looks of it. Bourne have added one there. It's 14-12 to Bourne now, so Kerry Duff, they'll have to come very fast if they're going to do that. And their final score from East Belfast, well, Ardglass actually, it's Ardglass 2-14, East Belfast 2-3, Charles, in that one.
2-14. I have that as a result, and I know we did get a result out at Lane, but Cahill has Mark Devlin on the phone. Mark, the game's all over there. This is Jarlath here. Are you keeping all right?
I'm not too bad, Jarlath, and yourself. Yeah, it's all over here. 2-13 to 11.
Okay. Well, that's a high enough score there for Glen.
It was surely. Glen started off the game with a goal. So they did.
Who got that goal? Who got that goal for you?
First goal of the game was Rory Byrne, cornerback. Run the full length of the pitch. Took a couple of 1-2s. And found himself 1-on-1 and started to pass the keeper. And then Glen got 2 penalties in the space of about 5 minutes.
Two penalties?
2 penalties in the space of 5 minutes. And Matty Bagman missed one. And then Shane McCartan scored the second one.
Well, I'd say Shane McCartan be taking the penalties from now on then, Mark, you'd say.
well, I don't know. Matty Bagman.
Yeah, he done well. Good scoring, and great to hear. And great to hear them boys scoring well like that, Mark.
Well, Mark, that puts Glen's heading into the championship with the tails up. That's 3 from 3.
Well, so far so good. Can't get complacent.
No. That's true.
Thanks very much, Mark.
Thanks very much.
No problem, bye.
Okay, bye. I see another call flashing up there, Paula.
Yeah, well, the other call full time, 9 points, Ballymartin 112. And 2 of our Division 1 full times. Unfortunately, St. Bruners are short in that one by quite a margin. It ended up with CPN 311, St. Bruners 1-9. So a massive second half for CPN in that. And from Sheena McConville over in full time in Clonduff Park, it's Clonduff 2-9, Loughlin Island 2-13. So it's a win for Loughlin Island there in Clonduff Park. So that's a big result for them after their drawing game last week with Mayo Bridge.
34 minutes, Jonathan, in St. John's and Rake game. And Rake seem to be going to add to their points tally. They're 112 to 110 up there now. It's 15-13. 34 minutes gone the second half, Charles. It must be about to blow the whistle. So
hold on, Paul.
Final score there.
No, Paul. Hold on. Slow down here. I had on Rake down at 111, 110 10 minutes ago. So was that an incorrect? Are you saying St. John's are in front there?
No, and Rake's still in front. Sorry, and Rake's in front.
Right.
Rake are in front 112 to 110.
112, 110. Okay.
Kerry Duff have added a point there, so they have in their match. It's 14-13 there going into the last.
That's 2-7 and not 14 then, yes.
That's it, 14-13. And that's all I have at the minute. It's 19 Longstone, 2-8 for Breda. Not finished there.
Yeah.
Full time from Kerry Duff, Jarlath. I have it here.
Give me Longstone first, Paul. Give me Longstone first.
It's not a full time. It's 19 Longstone, Breda 2-8 at the minute. But I have a full time from Kerry Duff, and Bourne have grinded out that result. It's Bourne 14 points, Kerry Duff 2-7, Jarlath.
Oh, just by the bare minimum. Paul, anything coming from you?
Yeah, full-time score from Kerry Louise in Dramara. It's Dramara 4-15, Ahadurg 1-7.
4-15 to 1-7.
4-15 to 1-7, and a massive win for St. Paul's. 3-22 to Glasdrumman, 6 points. That's full-time also in that game.
3-22-6, okay.
Yeah, and I believe if Downpatrick have the win in Clone, it is 3-10 to 13 points win for Downpatrick down there in Gaelic Park and Clone, Jarlath.
3-10 to 13?
3-10 to 13, yeah.
That's a big win
I'm seeing here, Jarlath, full time St. John's and Rake. And it's telling me it ended up a draw, 1-12 each.
No way.
That is officially in from Cormac. At full time is St. John's 1-12 on Rake 1-12. That is a draw. That is official. Yeah.
So that puts in Rake down to 3 points, and St. John's have the first point under the belt, Jarlath.
Turn up for the books, Jarlath, and what we were getting there. Leitrim 2-12. I'm getting here. Bosco 2-8, and that's.
Oh, no way! No way!
No.
We'll
We'll go back to Damien again. Hi.
Oh, no, we'll not welcome back to Damien.
And full time. Have we got the Longstone breed of full time?
Is that Leitrim Bosco? Is that full time?
That's full time. Yeah, that's coming in.
Unbelievable.
From Leitrim is reporting to the official down GA. Leitrim
2-12
to Bosco 2-8. And Damien Phillips reporting full time. Attic Hall 9 points. Ballymartin 1-12. And Conor Sloan reporting from Longstone full time. There is Longstone 19 points. Breda 2-8.
Okay.
Very good. You must have them near all now, Charles.
They're coming there thick and fast. The only one I'm actually missing at this stage. No,
have you Ardglass in East Belfast?
No, I have them. No, I have them. Right. Ready.
Ardglass 2-14.
That didn't start. The Caliph game is still going ahead. It was a later start, but at the minute it is very much Caliph. It's Caliph 2-20 to Mitchell's 4 points in that game.
Okay.
The full time from that Ardglass, Charlotte, it is Ardglass 2-14, East Belfast 2-3.
You have that. So, right. I'm going to rattle through the full times, what I have, okay?
Yeah, go ahead, Charlotte.
Is it happy enough, right? Division 1A, CPM Warren Point 3-11, Rostravar 1-9. These are all results, of course. Bryansford 0-9, Kilcoo 1-9. Division 1B, Carryduff 2-7, Bourne 0-14. That's a 1 point win for Bourne. And over in Ballyholden is Ballyholden 3-8. Mayo Bridge prevailed there 2-13. The bye game there was Clonduff 2-9, Loughlin Island 2-13. Moving on, Division 2A result from Glen 2-13, Dara Cross 0-11. Division 2B, Anna Clone 13 points and an excellent win for Downpatrick on the road. Downpatrick 3-10. St John's 1-12 and Richt 1-12. And the bye game there was Longstone 0-19, Breda 2-8. Division 3A, these are results. Shamrocks 2-16, Saville 1-9. Big win there for Shamrocks. Tullalish 2-16 to Connacht 1-8. Clonnabana 17 points. Octus Lafin 1-8. Division 3B, Bosco 2-8. Leitrim 2-12. Big second half comeback there from Leitrim. Ali Call 0-9, Ballymartin 1-12. Down till Division 4, we have Dramara 4-15, Ahadurg 1-7. Caliph is the latest score, Caliph 2-20, Mitchell's 0-4. And a full time in Division 4B, St Paul's 3-22, Glasdrummond 0-6, Bright 4-15, St Michael's 0-6, and Ardglass 2-14, East Belfast 2 goals and 3 points. And that's all the scores that I have. Some big scores tonight, folks.
Some big scores, Charles. I was looking, just noting there, the bigger teams coming to the fore, Kilcoo, Bourne, the Bridge, CPN, they'd be all in the dust up for the shout for the championship. Good for them to get results. And the Bridge result on the road, I tell you what's a fine result that down Ballyholden, Charles, from where they come from. And just, I can't let the show out without see all the people that were worried about Crossman Glen last week. They can stop worrying now. They've won 2-17 to 7 points, Charles. So just to stop anybody from worrying about them this week, I'll get that out there.
Yeah, well, I tell you what I'm going to get out. We're going to get it when we get off the line here, because you've mentioned Crossman Glen more in this programme in the past.
No, just twice, Jonathan.
and some of the clubs in our own county, Paula. Have you anything to say about this, Paula?
Yeah, absolutely, George. We will be getting the tweets and the texts of it. We're here at the remote down GA, and there we have one of our commentators. You never know, Jared. He may get a transfer for next week. He may be replaced.
My phone was sleeping all week over that, Charles, so I had to just reassure them, you know what I mean? Not to be worrying, that sort of way.
You're not done now. Here, Bosco will be absolutely sick. They'll be sick.
Devastated, devastated. And that all happened in the last 6 minutes. We were talking to Damien Brady, and he seemed happy enough. There were 2 points up, and they seemed to be in full control. Must have been an awful disaster the last 6 minutes for them, Jareth.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll tell you what we'll do. Instead of jumping all over, Paul, we'll just pick a few games here and we'll go down through the divisions. Big win tonight, Paula, for Warren Point, 311 to 19. That's a big statement of intent.
It certainly is, and it isn't the result that Restreva would have been coming to McGallen looking for. And at half time, things was evenly balanced there. So obviously, Warren Point are looking to lay their marker as they head into the championship, and that is a very impressive victory there in the second half for CPN. So that is exactly where they would want to be. But for Restreva, listen, they haven't gone anywhere. This is only early days yet, and they will certainly be rebuilding on their league campaign going to the championship.
All right, Bryansford, Kiku, Bryansford 0-9, Kiku 1-9, Paul. Kiku bubbling along nicely.
And I think they will be at the first stage, Jarlath. Clonduff snipped them by a point, but we touched on it earlier on the show. They've been putting up big scores against Bryansford this year, and they needn't think they will. So it's a grinded out, it's a good result for Kilcoo. They'll be going out of there with their tails up. They'll be happy with that, Jarlath, I can tell you. They'll be very happy with that result.
There's another team that has ground out the results over the past number of weeks. Nothing spectacular, but they've played 3 and they've won 3. And tonight they won in Carryduff. I am, of course, talking about Bourne, who were 14 points to 2-7 winners down in Carryduff tonight, Paula.
Yeah, absolutely. Bourne would be glad to travel down there. But I would say, there's only a point between them there. Carryduff will be taking as much out of that game going into championship as Bourne will. Maybe a bit more, Jarlath, to hold Bourne to 1 point at home is a very good game for Carryduff. But yeah, 3 wins out of 3 for Bourne, certainly heading into the championship. That's where you want to be.
And Paul, Ballyhole, Mayo Bridge. Mayo Bridge turned it around in the second half there, and they've come out with a 2-13 to 3-8 win. In front of a big crowd over in Ballyholm, by the sounds of it.
Delighted with that result, Jarlath. And after what they done last week, if you remember in the show, they stole the draw at the last kick of the game against Lough Island. They were well down at the start of that match and grinded away in points. And a famous man around Mayo Bridge, Paula knows him well, Tom O'Hare, used to batter into us. Take your points, the goals will come. And they did, Jarlath. And they did come at the end of it all. And fair play to them, good result. Ballyhole will be disappointed at home now the night, but Mayo Bridge, a couple of young Smiths there and a couple of young Gribbons are going well, and they'll be hoping for a rattle at the championship again this year, Charles, as you know.
All right, listen, we'll just make reference to it. The big game there tonight was Clonduff 2-9, Lough Island 2-13. It sounded like an entertaining game, but we'll not. I suppose we'll not dwell on that, Paula, because obviously there's no points to play for. But both teams are Clonduff started 2 from 2 in the league. Lough Island, that's a good comeback after that sort of slip up against Mayo Bridge last week when they had them on the rack.
Absolutely, Jarlath. Lough Island would definitely have been wanting, to come to Clonduff the other night and get a win. And I suppose, from the reports we're getting, they laid the biggest part of last week's game. And, I suppose any team that ends up with a draw, it's certainly better than a defeat, but they wanted that win to give them that bit of momentum going into the championship. Clonduff also certainly would have been looking to add to what, big win against Kilcoo in the first game, win last week as well. So they wouldn't have been wanting to not get a result, not counting, but still game time, and it gives them a chance to see where they are ahead of championship, Jarlath.
Okay, thanks, Paula. Glenn, Paul.
Yeah.
11.
We've got a great update
this year.
Yeah, we've got a great update from that ground the other night, Jarlath, and it's brilliant for the people out there to hear the likes of Matty Bagnan missed a penalty and Shea McCartan stepped up and took a penalty, and there's 2 penalties in the game, and that's details they wouldn't be picking up anywhere else. And I'm delighted that people's giving us in them details to keep all the people updated. Brilliant result for Glen. They're flying, as we know.
I believe, Jarlath, we have Damien Brady back online there.
All right, Paula,
you take it, Paula. You take it.
I'm afraid to talk to Damien, Paula, so I'll let you deal with that one.
Hello, Damien. How are you?
Keep that scud away from me, boy. Put the kiss of death on the street.
Surprisingly, Damien, our 2 men don't want to talk to you, and I don't know really what the reason is. And I'm privileged to be handed that chat with you, Damien. Certainly, things in the last 10 minutes didn't go your way. If you'd like to update us there, please.
Yeah, Paul, unbelievable. We conceded 2 goals in injury time, a penalty, and then the ball came out, and another goal. 2 goals in injury time. You couldn't make it up,
And funny, we were just saying earlier, Damien, that's the joy of Gaelic football. There's excitement right to the final whistle, and you certainly proved that. We had feeling the points in the bag there, and then within a couple of minutes, everything's turned on its head.
Yeah, all credit to Leitrim. They never give up, went right to the end, but I'm very happy with the display from our lads. They'll take a lot of confidence from that display tonight, because I think they're going in there heavy underdogs, so they'll run them right to the wire. So it's plenty to play up for future now,
Okay, well, I think you have qualified for the most talked about updates tonight, Damien.
Here, fair play to you, Damien, and thank you very much for coming on, especially after what happened at the end there. And if I ring you next Friday night, make sure you answer the phone now. Do you hear me?
No problem, Paul. No problem. Anytime for you know that.
Thanks very much, Damien. Thank you.
Listen, we'll continue to rattle through them here. Anna Clone last week, of course, were out in the Bay game, and they came up short against Saul. And, I hate to say it, Paula, but they've now lost 2 in a row.
They have, certainly, and I mean, I would always, Charles, try to be very, very neutral. Of course, Anna Clone is my own club, and that's where my heart will lie, and you like to see them do well. But funny, there's a wee message coming through there from John Heenan, and his outlook on tonight's defeat actually is it's still good to get the useful blood on the pitch. And they have a lot of young players, the McAvoy boys there coming through, and a lot of new young people coming through. So Anna Clone probably a team that's building again, bringing in the youth. So certainly they would have liked to get a win. That's a big win for Downpatrick and Gaelic Park. But they can build on for championship, Jareth.
Big score from Downpatrick there tonight, 3-10. They'll be delighted till they're very much on track there. And
Paul, sorry, as Paul said there earlier, they were down to 13 men, so that obviously they took momentum from that and pushed on in the second half to get a very good win. Of course.
St John's and the Kingdom drew 1-12 each, Paul.
Yeah, some result, Jonathan. St John's would be delighted. And raked 3 points now from the first 2 games, be delighted as well. And you'd have the added incentive there with John Clark, suppose, going from Anrake till St John's to play, and Marty managed them last year. So if you just a wee bit more than a local rivalry out there, John or Jonathan, I tell you what, both teams would be delighted. And St John's are off the mark now. I was touting them up at the start of the season for to be, good enough. Glad to see them getting a point under the belt, but they snatched it at the end and raked. I suppose would be disappointed losing it, Jareth, after leading for both the game.
That's the ebb and flow. I mean, like early in the second half, St John's were 1-4 and not 3 up, and as it turned out, then they needed the equalising point to get the draw. So, like again, the excitement of the games. The Bay game there, of course, was Longstone 19 points and Breda 2-8. So we move on then, Division 3. Paul, I have to give this to you. Shamrocks are absolutely flying. 2-16 they racked up tonight against Saville 1-9, who weren't going too bad themselves before tonight.
No, they were absolutely flying, Charles. They give a couple of teams severe drubbings in the first rounds of this here. But I think they scored 4 or 5 goals last week, if I'm not mistaken. But I tell you what, I keep saying it at the start of the show. We sort of went through all the clubs the first night, Charles. That championship run, one thing a championship run will do, it'll split you up or it'll galvanise them, Jareth. And my take on it is, and fair play to Marty and Marty Tumley down there on a clone man as well, Paul, and Marty Rafferty managing there. I tell you what, they seem to have galvanised them and they're rattling up good scores there. They've 3 wins under their belt. Probably them and Bourne. I don't know, did Drummond S win tonight, Jareth? Have you an update on that one?
No, they were due to play.
They weren't playing. Well, like Shamrocks and Bourne are probably the only 2 clubs in the county there on full points from the first block of fixtures. They'll be delighted down there, and hopefully it continues.
Well, and of course, Glen are sitting at maximum points as well, Paul. Yes. As are Clonduff, who had a Bay game tonight. Yes, Paul, I'm moving on. Tullaleash are off the mark. They scored 2-16 tonight against Connacht's 1-8.
Yeah, Tullaleash were getting their first points there tonight, and certainly would have been looking for a good game. They'd have been disappointed up until now not to have had more on the board, Jareth, but certainly that's good scoring in a game against Connacht, and that will give them a real good look as to where they're sitting heading into championship. A good win for Tullaleash there tonight at home.
And likewise, Clonabana, Paul, who are also up and running, they posted 17 points tonight against Oxen Finn, 1-8.
Yeah, and August Finn, Jarlath coming off, they were flying. So we reported on them this last couple of weeks. They had a couple of great wins, and that's a wee bit of a dampener in their sales tonight. Brilliant result for Clonabana. They'll be delighted with that. And Seamus up there in Benone tuned into us. Seamus Ryan, good club man. He'll be delighted tonight, and he'd be delighted to hear these results coming in, sitting up there in his caravan tonight, Jarlath.
Yeah, listen, we talked about it there. We'll not dwell on poor Damien and Bosco or add to their pain, but they weren't in control of that game, as Damien said, up to the last few minutes. They came up short tonight against Leitrim. It was Bosco 2-8, Leitrim 2-12. Paula.
Yeah, probably you'd be thinking at that stage, Jarlath, you know, that come back at the very, very end, probably a wee bit more experience, maybe of some of the Leitrim players, maybe a bit stronger up front, and they just fought it out to the very, very end. And like Damien said, 2 goals in injury time. You would be thinking, if you're that ahead heading in at that stage, that you're looking good for the victory. But I would say it just was maybe a wee bit more experience that saw Leitrim over the line there, Jarlath.
Okay, the big Mourne derby tonight, Paul. Ballymartin didn't seem to be in too much trouble once they hit the front. They seemed to stay in front. It was Oddie Cole, not 9, Ballymartin 1-12.
Yeah, that's right. Is that Oddie Cole's first competitive game, Jarlath, tonight? Yeah, I think it is, maybe.
No,
Ballymartin,
that's
the second competitive game, is it? Yeah, Ballymartin with a lot of them couple of points. That's their first, I think, Jarlath, isn't it?
That's correct.
In this campaign. And as you said at the start of the show, Jarlath, everybody's been looking for to get their best side forward in the next game or two, you know, for there's big stuff coming ahead of them. And as we know, it's all about, you know, getting ready for the championship. And they'll be going in prepared there now. Good win for Ballymartin, Jarlath.
Yeah, listen, Paula, Division 4 always seems to be the division that gives us some remarkable high scores. No different tonight. Dramara 4-15, Ahadurg 1-7.
Yeah, Dramara would have been, you know, there have been strong favourites going into that game, and say, you know, there are 2 codes there, and they're trying to keep both going. But certainly, it's a big scoring for Dramara at home, and a boost for them heading into championship doors. Yeah.
Okay, no final result yet from Khalif Mitchell's, or was that 220-04? Does anybody know?
No, the latest coming through there is the red card. It's not over yet, but the score at the minute is sitting Khalif 222 to Mitchell's 1-7, and I believe the red card is for Khalif, but nothing confirmed in that just yet, Charles.
Okay, all right. Division 4B, Paul's Glasdrumman. After the cricket score they run up against East Belfast, they were on the receiving end of a cricket score tonight. St Paul's 322, Glasdrumman 0-6.
Yeah, we do know, Jarlath, there's a couple of good players in St Paul's. Like, we've touched on them, and you think of the logistics of that for Glasdrumman. You know, logistically on a Friday night to get boys home from work, maybe in Dublin or wherever they are, and to get away to that game. You know what I mean? To get away to Hollywood, maybe that had a burn on it, Jarlath. Who knows? Like, it's a long trip for Glasdrumman, and maybe they went with an understand side. But from last week to this week, the change is unbelievable, Jarlath. And like, they've been wanting to bounce back from that very quick, so they will.
Before tonight, Paula, Bright and St Michael's had both played 2 and were sitting on a win and a loss each. We thought they were evenly matched. Bright 4-15, St Michael's 0-6. So that didn't actually prove to be the case. A big win there for Bright, Paula.
A big win for Bright, very much a one-sided affair in that game, and that doesn't do St Michael's any good. You know, St Michael's is doing good down in a part of the county which maybe doesn't have the numbers that other clubs have, and that they're doing good work down there. But Bright certainly building on a very impressive victory there tonight, Jarlath 4-15. Definitely, that's very, very impressive from Bright.
And the final result tonight, Paul, Ardglass 2-4. East Belfast, who all credit to them, keep plugging away, 2 goals and 3 points.
Yeah, all credit to them is right, Jarlath. Keep plugging away, and all credit to Ardglass as well. Big win for them, Jarlath. And like, we keep touching East Belfast, it's the fairy tale story at the minute, as we all know. We mentioned earlier on, there's 400 of them in that member, or 400 playing members there now, and it can only get better for them, Jarvis, and hopefully we'll be on there when they do get the first win. They haven't won at any level yet, so that's including camogie and underage or whatever. All levels are playing that, but they're fielding teams. They have enough in the dugout for a second team, so it'll augurs well for them when they get their act again, a bit of training. We'll also have to remember, Jarvis, they're officially only a club 2-3 months, so fair play to them. They're fielding away and they're doing their best, and they seem to be nestling in rightly to the county setup, Jarvis.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Well, listen, folks, just before we wrap up, I know we had mentioned at the start of the show, championship is in 2 weeks. This time, 2 weeks, the championship actually will have started. So I believe we're going to do a championship preview show next Friday night, Paula, isn't that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And just before I enter into that, just to let you know, Jareth, the last of the full-time scores has just literally come in there, and it has finished Calif 225 to Mitchell's North 1-7. Sorry, 225 to 1-7. That is the result and the last result. And yes, hopefully next week that is the aim that we will have a championship preview, and maybe if things go according to plan, we maybe even have our own Down County chairman may join us for some of that as well. So that would be less games, and it'd be good to get a look at the championship ahead of 2 weeks' time, George.
Okay, all right, Paula, thanks.
Looking forward to that myself, Jarlath. I'm looking forward to that myself, Jarlath, and we also hope to be streaming a couple of the games out of Park Esler and maybe doing a bit of commentary on all the games that's going on, while that's happening. Big plans we have, Jarlath. Hopefully it all works out. You never know. At the minute, it's going well for us, and people I think's happy enough to get all the results updates from round about. And I'm looking forward to getting deeper into it and getting down to the fields and maybe getting out of the studio for a night, Jarlath, and then a bit of live action.
Paul, I think you would need to worry about getting out of quarantine first before you come out of any studio.
I'll be all right.
Because,
you want to see the green? You want to see the green mask I have, Jarlath? It's class.
But this is the beauty of this technology, you see. Nobody knows this, but I'm about to tell everybody you're actually in England tonight. Right?
I'm actually, would you believe it, sitting in Liverpool tonight. And it's brilliant that Cahill out there at the back of all this, he's controlling us all. And technology, Jarlath, we can't be beating the technology side of it. It's just the information side of it we need to get up to scratch. Do you know what I mean? And it's brilliant to be able to do that. Paul is up there in Mayo Bridge, the bottom of the mountain. You're over in Australia yourself at the bottom of the mountain. I'm sitting in the big Liverpool capital. There's no lockdown here yet, Jarlath, that I heard of. Hopefully I'll get back all right.
Well, a big shout out to Destination Newry and all the people in the surrounding areas. Hope you're all keeping well. Stay at home and watch us instead.
Oh wait, I don't even know if we're still in, all right. I see we're still live up in that corner there. There you are. We've John Sheehan supporting us as well. So we'll continue on until Cahill tells us otherwise.
Damien, you are a legend, and I want you to keep up the great work that you're doing at the moment for Destination Newry. And this destination is beautiful, and everybody should come to Newry because I love this place. See you soon.
That's still showing live in the corner, so Cahill will take us out here in a few minutes. But Paula, just before we go, Paul touched on it there, the wonders of technology, and I suppose it is an appropriate time to say to people who may be in Australia or down that neck of the woods, or indeed going the other way, come out of Dublin Airport and turn left and head for the east or west coast of America. Anybody wants to get in touch with us, please do over the coming weeks, and we'll say a big hello and a shout out to you all. Paula, you'll agree with that, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And funny, I was speaking to Richie Reynolds in your own club, part of our PR setup today, and he just made the really valid point that albeit our games are opened up for some people, but we have so many people away who won't be home. But we have also people, as we talked today, are at home, and it'll be quite a while before they will be able to venture out because of COVID and their underlying health issues. So to be able to sit back, even those that are at our games, is terrific. But to be able to bring this to people at home it brightens up their Friday evening. It lets them know what's happening around the county, and certainly Destination Newry are doing a great job here. Delighted to be with them, and long may it continue to bring live updates to people in the comfort of their own home stores, far and wide.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I think we'll wrap it up at that, Paul, will we?
Yes, Charles. Just like to say, probably different people all week. I said we'd give a shout out to. I'm going to write them down next week and I'll try and remember them. But when we start this show, you and Paul know well, you've all plans and you've great plans to do all these things, but it comes thick and fast. And we haven't even a second really to think, Charles, when we're live in the middle of it there. And anybody wants a shout out, as Charles said, give us a call. We'll do our best to get your messages out there. And I'm enjoying it. I said it last week before we left the show, Charles. And a couple of hours before the build-up, my stomach was in bad way, being nuts. But you see, when we actually go live, it's the most peaceful couple of hours I had all week. That's the truth.
But all you're doing is talking. You're not playing.
I know why, but I might as well be playing high.
Here, listen. We're going to bring it to a close, Paul, but Cahill there has just reminded me for you to remind the people about the cameras around the pitches.
Yes. We forgot about that there, and we want to mention we have news from Mayo Bridge. We're getting, hopefully for their next match, we'll be going live there with a new position on the camera. We have updated a bit of stuff on it, Charles. We've refined it a wee bit, and we're moving it into a more select position, and we're hoping, we had a few inquiries from different clubs about. We're hoping between me and Cahill to have the next game in Mayo Bridge, whatever grade or whatever level it is. We're going to give it a trial run, Jarlath, and let the folks out there see. We had inquiries from different clubs inquiring about it. But by next week, we'll have her up and running, and we'll be able to let the folks out there see what we're planning. Hopefully, all the clubs that go for it, Jarlath, will be able to log in and out of them. Brilliant idea from the studio. And as I said to you, a few wee technical issues sorted out during the week there, and the next Mayo Bridge game will be steaming in, fully live and fully at the minute, Jarlath.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Paula, I'm going to give the last word to you this week.
Yes, Charles, I'm taking a big risk here because there probably will be repercussions from this, but I think it'd be very remiss, as I realised it was a big birthday in your house this week, and it wasn't yourself. But certainly the good lady does a lot for us in Down GA as well. She stands there at the gate, match after match, selling half-time draw tickets. So, Rosie, just extend birthday wishes to you. I'm sure you have a whole year to celebrate.
Well, of course, the lady doesn't mention her name, but as you say, Rosemary had a landmark birthday last weekend. And believe it or not, she's actually way into work tonight. They're doing a stock take from 8 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning. So, never stops.
Then before I get any backlash from that.
There you go.
Then, Jarlath.
There's the happy birthday up already. Here, listen. Huge show tonight. I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Jarlath. Bye, Paul.
All right, Jarlath. Bye, Paula.